Town to One's radio, hashtag TL Radio, hashtag TL Media, hashtag too many hashtags, keep hashtagging it out. And we're back, man. J Shup.
Uncle X.
And y'all know what's going on, man. Y'all know the vibes. It's a good day in the sense of us just being here today. You know, just being here, being able to see my brother over there. It's a bad day in the sense of social justice, and it's a bad day for the lives that look like yours and mine, just because of the verdict of Breonna Taylor. And that's what this segment's really going to be about. We're about to just kind of like chop it up about it, and we hope y'all like it. So, X.
First off, I mean, well, we've all seen the verdict. I'm sure I don't need to repeat it at this time. Well, I am. So I guess he was charged with endangerment, correct? For 3 bullets that hit, I guess, the walls and the windows of neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you go back and look at the facts of the case, right, and you study, the main thing that sticks out is like it's not smart. First off, people have to understand when there comes like with a $12 million settlement like that with their family, and that's the most they've ever given out. I know we're upset at the verdict, but that was probably worked in. Because what happens is with these like settlements like this, it's like, okay, we'll give you this, but we can't charge him to the T. Like we can't charge him for a manslaughter or whatever, right? Or we'll give you this, and you can't talk about it anymore. That's why you haven't really seen her family really come out and say much after that.
Right.
You've seen Ben Crump come out and say that the charges were unacceptable, so maybe that they didn't really tell them what they were going to charge him with. But with these settlements like that, it's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that we don't see. Mm-hmm. Now, moving on from that, the charges. I mean, what are your opinion on those? I say they're ridiculous, but you know,
mutiny, just atrocious. They're really bad. They're terrible. And the reason why I'm saying that is because even damn the settlement, all that stuff. We want to see justice, you know. We want to see the man behind bars to the fullest extent. If we get to put behind bars for the smallest of things, literally the smallest of things, or nothing, you will want to see a person who committed murder, 3 people that committed murder that broke into somebody's house. They kicked in the door. They didn't have a warrant, a search warrant.
No.
They did?
This is the problem. They had a warrant. But it's a no-knock warrant in a state like Stephen A. Smith was saying earlier. They had a warrant, but it's a no-knock warrant in a place where it's a stand-your-ground state. And okay, so there's one witness that said they identified, but then the other 12 said they didn't identify. So the problem was...
So they didn't have a search warrant?
No. They did have a warrant, yes.
Wait, no. What we're saying is the same thing. They had a warrant. They didn't have a warrant to go inside the house.
No, they did. That's the point.
So like
the struggle, the point is they had a no-knock warrant, like I said before, which means you don't have to announce anything. Now you do have to identify yourself as police officers, but you can kick in their door and not have to announce it. You have to say, police, and then kick in the door. You have to announce that, right? Mm-hmm. But they don't have to be like, hey, such and such, we have a warrant, can you let us in? They don't have to do that.
Okay.
So the problem, that's why I think it's a gray area with the law, because it's like, okay, you had a no-knock warrant. Mm-hmm. There's no film evidence, supposedly. There's no body cam. I don't know if they have that and they're not releasing it,
they turned that off
or something like that. But it's like one person is saying y'all didn't identify. 12 other people, a lot of other people are saying that y'all didn't identify. So what do you expect when you kick in someone's door? You flash lights down the hallway. You expect in Kentucky, like as in Texas, this is what you have to do. When you have to ask conservatives, because those are people who kind of debate our points. Mm-hmm. You have to ask a conservative person. If someone kicked in your door and didn't identify, and they shined a light in your face, you couldn't see who they were, and you thought they were trying to do harm, what are you gonna do? If you're bearing arms in Texas, you're gonna take a shot, which is what happened. and then the return fire is what got Breonna Taylor killed. So it's really a gray area because officially in legal capacity, right? They were acting within, but the problem is did they identify or not? And if it's proven that they didn't identify,
Which
then,
12 people said they didn't.
exactly. So that's the main problem, and that's why they eliminated the no knock. They had that one bill called I think it was the Breonna Taylor bill or something like that, where I think they eliminated no knock warrants in Kentucky now.
But that's not going to do anything.
It's not gonna do anything.
That's not. And I think it's just the real thing. Even if you just kick in the door, right? You kicked in the door. For what reason? Who knows, right? But like, for what? I know they said this before. They had a warrant for her ex-boyfriend, right?
It's a real gray area because the police like to release facts that make what they did justifiable. So
Right, but
yeah,
then
even-
again, what tracks them to that house? That's not her. That's not his address.
yeah, supposedly what they're saying is related to people that she's dealt with that they assume that she had something to do with whatever operation.
All I
was
hear,
going on.
and all I hear is shit.
That's what I'm saying. That's what they say. That's why I said, they release facts that fit their narrative, so we don't actually really know how this stuff works. And all I'm gonna say is, at what point do someone posted this on Twitter. As a nurse, you go in there, you give somebody wrong medication, they die, you're liable. It's a lot of jobs where you mess up one time, you're out of there. And it seems like police officers are the only job where, I made a lapse of judgment and someone died. And it's like, oh, okay. We'll give you leave. You might be fired, but you're still hireable at a department right outside the city. So
Right, and you talking to officers that are committing murder.
yeah,
I'm talking about like the person's not coming back. It's not a slight injury. You didn't just beat the wrong person up. You killed somebody.
and even if it's on accident, it's a lot of in the accident. I feel like, look, we as black people know if you're in a situation. I've never been in a warrant where someone knocks on my door situation. But the last thing you're going to do is if you hear someone say, hey, police, the last thing you're going to do is shoot around towards when they kick in the door. That's why I do not believe they identified at all. No way.
No,
and he fired one shot.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that was a warning shot.
It was one, like, whoa, pop, like, whoa, what are y'all doing? So if I feel like if they would have said police, and they actually identified themselves clearly, there's no way he fires a warning shot like that at all. I don't believe that.
Yeah,
for one bit.
especially knowing it's police. They're not coming solo dolo.
Never.
They're not coming dolo. So if they kick in the door, and I guess my thing with the whole situation is it's just being tired, bro. Tired of being tired of no justice, tired of nothing really happening, and just tired. And really, what I see happening now is May all over again, but if not worse. And I'm really gonna think, cause May was a month that was the whole country was on eggshells. That was the first time I've ever seen every major city in the United States had protests - riots.
And then, bro, what's starting to piss me off the most is we gotta stop, bro.
You talking about the coons?
No, well,
I'll talk about the coons.
yeah.
I'll go on
My point is, every time something like this happens, people go back into their past and dig up stuff that's like, oh, well, they kind of had it coming. They essentially deserved it because they were doing this and doing that.
To try to discredit them as a human.
Exactly. And my thing is, this seems to be the only profession where a gray area always benefits them. Any other, bro, doctors have been I guess stripped of their license for messing up on accident or leaving tools and people during surgery. They get punished immediately. It's no, I did it on accident, so if you drive and you run a red light and you hit somebody and they die, you didn't do it on purpose, but you're gonna get punished. Probably manslaughter, 100%.
Yeah, you in jail.
As a nurse, like I used that example before, you go in, you give a patient the wrong medication and they die. You're probably gonna be I don't know what, if they strip your license or your, how that works, but this is the only profession where they have a gray area. And then they wonder why they're so quick to make decisions that are lethal. Because it's like, okay, well, I'm protected by, I was in the line of duty and there's a little gray area, so I'll get away with it. It's not productive.
Man, and I think my issue with a lot of the stuff that's going on is I hate the take on it, right? I hate how I turn on the TV and I see people, if you don't know what you're talking about,
shut up.
Don't talk about it.
It's why I say reset. Shut up. That's how I hate people do that.
From different people trying to take stands. It's almost the same thing with George Floyd, right? Everybody was canceling people back then. People showed you like their true intent. If you're not frontline, if you're not out there, if you're not really active, if you don't have a conscience, if you haven't read up on what's going on, if you're not laced on the information of the case, if you're not really laced on what's really going on out here, bro, just be quiet. We're not trying to hear that right now. This is one of them time periods where I'm not really trying to hear the peace right now.
It's always like a hot take. Like
I'm not trying to have the script flip back on us. Well, we gotta be, or we gotta do this, or we gotta do this. This is a situation.
Stop putting yourself in those situations, and bro, see, my bad to cut you off again, but the first one that really said it. Okay, I'm not gonna say the first one, but the one that really started everything was Trayvon Martin, right?
Mm-hmm.
So people say, oh well, don't run from security guards, or don't do this, don't put yourself in that situation. He
was getting followed by a dude. The dude tried to handle him. He fought him. And then
and even if we don't explain, let's use another name.
Right.
Okay, Philando Castile reaches for his ID. That's a routine in a traffic stop.
Dude,
cop unloads like 8 to 9 shots right there.
Cop was shaking like a stripper until he started shooting.
With his child in the car. Okay, shall we go on? Like there's so many more names that fit this. Oh, if we just if we complied and did all this right, maybe we'd be okay.
Like, yeah.
And last example, real quick. Mm-hmm. The dude sitting next to I don't know if you remember this. It was a man sitting next. One of his patients is like a mentally unstable patient,
mm-hmm.
and he was sitting next to his patient because the guy was freaking out. They called the cops on him. The man is laying on the ground like, hey, I'm just letting y'all know he's autistic. He's autistic, don't do anything, don't do this, don't do this. He's laying like no threat at all. And he even said to himself, he was like, well, if I just lay right here with my hands up, there's no way they shoot me. And the cop I don't know what, for some reason, a shot goes off. And he asked the cop, why did you shoot me? He said, I don't know. What? So how many more instances do we have to give y'all of this? Oh, just comply and it doesn't work.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's hard to really talk about it without really getting emotional, really not having like the pent up anger about it.
Yeah, I'm trying not to yell, honestly.
I really just, cause it could have, when we really say it could be anybody, it could be anybody. It could have been him, it could have been me. It's to the point where now, like, and me and my friends talk about this all the time. My friends, a group of African American males, we talk about this all the time. Right now, it's like, I can't even go. My people worry about my every footstep now. Like my mother is scared to death everywhere I go because you never know. Our neighborhood, for some weird reason, got cops everywhere. For some weird reason.
Yeah, mine too.
And then, where I live. Right, and for no reason, and they're like, watch if you go out the right, and because they just scared if I get stopped on just pulled over, something that you shouldn't be worried about. You get pulled over, oh, okay, cool, whatever. But when you've been in instances, like I've been at instances at a university, you went to Tech, mm-hmm. You was in Lubbock, I went to St. Houston, I was in Huntsville, I'm in a smaller town, right? I've been in instances where,
It's about the same size, bro.
Yeah, so like, That's what I'm saying. So like, I've been in an instance where I got pulled over, and the cop pulled a gun out of me, without. He walked up to the window, gun out. You know what I'm saying? Blessed to get home. But like that's how he came. That's how he came the first time. That was my freshman year.
Yep. Right.
Just an instance like that. I was in Oklahoma, and with some of my line brothers on the Alpha, like for an Alpha conference, we at Langston University, HBCU, right? White cops patrolling around. They tried to make an example out of us. We was walking into the party, 4 cop cars circle us. Freeze, pull guns out, stuff like that. Well, one did, and the other ones didn't. But you see what I'm saying? Like, for what? Just to tell us, oh, my line brother had a Ford Loco. It's like, oh, that Ford Loco has to be covered. 4 cop cars needed to do that? Mm-hmm. Needed to circle us and stop us? Needed to pull out a gun for that?
Everyone has a story about one. Like when we were coming back from Lubbock, we're going the speed limit. A cop was in front of us, and then he slams on the brakes. And after he slams on the brakes, my friend gets from behind him. He's like, "What in the world is going on?" He just slams on the brakes for no reason. So he gets from behind him and goes into the other lane, right? So then the cop we have a pickup truck, right? Then a cop slows down and gets behind us, right? And so then my friend like, okay, I'm gonna get in the other lane and let the cop go ahead. So then the cop gets back in the other lane, right? So then he pulls him over. He comes up to the window. He's like, "Hey, is everyone okay?" We're all like, "Bro, yes, yes, we're okay." And so then he was like, "All right, I need the ID of everyone in the car." And we were like, "What? For what?" He was like, "Oh, I'm just making sure everyone's okay. You guys have a lot of stuff loaded back here. Is this stuff stolen? Is this all your stuff?" And we're like, "What? We're coming from Lubbock. We're going back to Houston." Yeah, so like we were on the way back to Houston, and he ended up just looking in the car and being like, "All right, guys, I'm giving you a warning. Just make sure you stay safe or whatever like that." And the warning ended up being for failure to stay in lane, of course, and like, which made zero sense. It was just BS. So that's everyone has a story like that, and we just gotta get rid of this gray area with where they can do this just to feel it and see how it is, but then if it's not that, So yeah, we just gotta get out of that.
Right. So I guess our thing would be right now is just to everybody make sure to stay up.
Votable. I said votable.
Vote. It's on every app. Every app you open, it says to vote.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and do that. I haven't said too much right here. It's a lot of emotions with this situation right now. It's kind of hard, but we're gonna get through it. Make sure y'all keep following and subscribing to it. Make sure y'all listen to the radio show. We definitely have a lot more to stay on here. And keep following the brand. Keep following the gang. You know what it is. Jay Shepard's Uncle X. It's TO Radio.
Yep.